Right, well, welcome to the welcoming window celebration in a box. Tried to think what it was then that we got here, but it's the welcome in a celebration in a box card class. So you will need your stamp set and your dies in order to complete the class. You'll have your full pack of coloured instructions as always, and you'll have 6 little cards. So let's have a look and see what we have got. So this one, you have got your card base, your background piece, stitched rectangle, and a little piece of card to stamp your flowers on. So it is just a question of, you've got some of the brick stamp stamped in the background just here on this background piece, and then building up your window with your stamps. What I have done is I have taken my die. Oh, and that die isn't in here. That's the one that seems to have gone walkabout. You have a die that cuts the aperture in a window. So use that to cut out of a piece of scrap card and create yourself a mask, and then just sponge in the gap. Failing that, you can just get a sponge dauber or something and sponge in the middle of your print. But if you sponge in that gap first, make up that mask and sponge in your gap first, and then you can stamp your window around it. I've used a green and a yellow just there. Look, you've got all your colours listed that I've used. I think it was just Jade and Bumblebee to create my flowers. That's 2-step stamping, and just die cut those and added them in. So a nice little simple card, but really quite effective, stamping in your greeting as well. So yeah, so with that one you want to create yourself that little mask so that you can sponge your window scene in the background. Next up, I've got this little one here. So in this kit you have got some ribbon which comes around here, look, and you've got enough there to wrap a piece round and snip a bit off just to tie your knot. You've got your little bit of white just there to stamp your greeting on, and you've got a bit extra just there to stamp your flower and die cut that. You've got your gorgeous grape background, you've got your gorgeous grape mat for behind your greeting, and you've got some little rhinestones in there as well. So with this one, what I've done is I've taken this sort of floral foliage and flower stamp and stamped along the bottom, and then taking that corner die, I stamped the corners first, and then just by twisting it I've just used the edges to create this border around the edge here, and I have sponged all around the edge here with some old olive or whatever green you're using. I've used old olive and gorgeous grape in there just to bring that all together. Stamped your greeting on there in some gorgeous grape and a few little rhinestones. So just another way to use those stamps without a window in sight. Let's pop these all back in here. So the recipient of this kit isn't missing bits. So that's 2. This one, you have got your black, you've got a larger black piece and a smaller black piece. Your smaller black piece is your mat for your front of your card. Then you've got your cinnamon cider that has been embossed with the brick embossing folder, and then you've got some white and black to do some die cutting and things with, and you've got some black thread and some little of the matte dot gems. So if we have a look at this, I have stamped these flowers onto some white card and then cut it out with this window die, which and I've discarded the frame. You can use that for something else, and I've just used the bits that pop out of the middle, which I have then placed into the middle of a black frame. So I've cut another frame out of black along with 2 shutters, and sort of like this ledge piece have all been die cut, and I've cut the 4 whatever the word is, brackets, hinges, from white card. So you should get that out of this piece of white card as well. So that's just to build up your window, and say I've just used the squares that have popped out the middle of that white frame to put into the window, and then this is just some white embossing that I've then trimmed round and cut round to add on separately. So that one's got a bit of a brick wall. Actually, the other thing I did do is take some basic white pigment ink and just sort of brushed over the top of this brick wall, just to give it that sort of dusty sort of brick wall finish, bring a bit more life to it. So that is that one. This one is going to be this one. So again, we've die cut a window frame and the shutters and a ledge. So that's all come from crumb cake card, and the brackets this time are from actually was from the brass foil, but if you were reproducing this, if you hadn't got brass foil, you could easily use gold. So with this one, you've got an insert and a background piece. So on the background piece, again, I've stamped some brick wall in the background here. I've stamped two of the pots and some of the foliage direct onto the background, but these foliages I've stamped onto a separate piece of white card and die cut. And that's something I haven't given you, is an extra little bit of white card. Yes, I have. See, I thought I'd lost the plot there for a moment. No, so you've got your crumb cake for cutting your window, you've got your white for your extra flowers, this is for your background. You've then got, here's your brass foil for your brackets and things, and then you've got two pieces of DSP. So this one is just a strip that's going to go down the back there, and this one is going to sit behind your window. That's probably too wide, you're going to need to cut that down, but I've actually cut that scallop with the poppy die, just to make the blind behind the curtain. So that's that one. This is this one. So this is quite a sort of clean and simple look. You've got your green mat and you've got your white mat. I've actually sat them so that the green is sitting in this bottom corner and the white is also sitting in this bottom corner, and building up that way. You've then got some white card in there for doing your die cutting, so you'll want the window frame and this shelf. And then you've got a little strip of old olive there for this bit, and you've got some old olive to die cut your jug. The little foliage on there I've actually heat embossed in silver, and then added in the green flowers, stamped a greeting, and it just really is a question of building that up. And you've got some of the nice silver thread here to carry on with that sort of green and silver theme. So there we are, wishing our paths crossed a little more often. As always, you can always swap out the sentiments on these. And last but not least, we've got this one, which is all stamping, no die cutting on this one. So you've got your early espresso background and you've got your very vanilla top, and it's just a question of stamping 3 of the shelf bits, stamping pots and jugs. So I've used grey granite and to say on the instructions, I can't think whether that was Cajun Craze or Cinnamon Cider, it would be one of them, that I've used to stamp these. And then I've gone in with 3 different types of green and added in various foliage. So this plant pot here, this is the corner die that I've stamped twice. So I've done one over the edge of the pot and done a second one, so you've got a second trail of leaves. So this is it stamped once, this is it stamped twice. So that's quite effective, and I think I've done that on some of the others as well. You've just got a bit of a greeting stamped in there and some of the very vanilla thread. So that one is just plain and simple, playing around with those pots and those flowers. So I hope that you enjoy that kit. and that you'll enjoy making all those welcoming windows.